Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ashley Parks. I'm a culinary student at the wonderful KVCC College, and today we're going to be making buttermilk fried chicken and some country gravy. So, first things first, we have our chicken sitting in our buttermilk. The rule should be, you should probably leave it in there for at least 30 minutes, but the longer the better. And we dredge them. With these, I put in the freezer to kind of see the difference between the two when they're done. We have our dredging flour. Just put a little salt. Now the ratio or the seasoning, all that, is how you want it. It's not necessarily like tablespoon or whatever. If you want it more spicy, you can have more spicy. I have salt, pepper, and cayenne. And we have our oil up to about 375. Turn it up a little. We're going to take our drumstick and we're just going to dredge it. Now, the buttermilk is acidic, and the point of it is to tenderize the chicken just like wine or lemon juice or any other marinade would with any other meat. Set that there. Now we want to make sure that we shake all the excess off so it's not big clumps of breading in our oil. So first, we're just going away from you. I'll do the first one first. Now, anytime you're handling raw chicken or flour, you want to make sure that you wash your hands. Now the temperature of the oil should be at about 350 to 375. If the breading on the chicken is becoming too dark, don't be afraid to turn it down or to even take it off the stove to help it to keep it from burning. And we're also going to make some country gravy, so we have about 4 tablespoons of butter in here. You always have one clean hand, one gloved hand when dealing with this. And you always want to temp the chicken when it comes out. This should only take about 10-15 minutes depending. And if the crust on the chicken is too dark but the chicken's still not done on the inside, what you can do is you can actually put it in the oven at about 375 for about like 10 minutes depending on how long it takes. The breading comes off really easy on this, so you might want to just be careful. And that's one of the reasons why I do freeze the flour on, is so that it sticks to it and it gives it a better crust. At least that's what I've always felt. Now what dredging and the breadcrumbs and the deep frying does is that it seals all the juices and stuff on the inside so that when it cooks and you cut it open, like you got all that juiciness and the tenderization, and it's just delicious. Temperature we want to be at is about 162 to take it out, 162 to 163. But temp that it's done is 165, because what it will do is it will carry over cooking. So when you take it out, it will actually finish cooking from the residual heat. So that one's not done, not even close. And then for our gravy, we're going to just get our 4 tablespoons of butter melted, and then we got about the same amount of flour because we're going to be making a roux. And there's 3 different types of roux. There's a blonde roux, brown and darker, I guess, I don't remember. And depending on how long you cook it is how dark it's going to get, which is going to add that more depth flavor to it. And the roux is meant to thicken the gravy, which you can also do with cornstarch as well when making a slurry. And that gets hot. Now, what you're going to want to do is make a paste out of this, but sometimes the 4 tablespoons is enough, which is why I have some extra here. This one's a little bit more. Very light color. We just want it a little bit darker. Whisk that in to make sure there's no flour. And then check our chicken. Still got some time to go. Now what's good about the buttermilk chicken is that you can actually prep everything the night before and just have it ready for dinner the next day. So you can have your chicken and put it in the buttermilk and let it sit overnight, because the longer the better. Just let it sit overnight, and then the next day when you're about maybe an hour away from dinner, just dredge it in the flour with whatever seasonings you like, and there you go. And you technically don't even have to deep fry it, but this is just one of the best ways, I believe. You want to keep stirring this so the bottom doesn't get burnt, and wait for it to thicken up. Gotta let it boil. Not boil yet. Now to tempt the chicken or any meat, we always put it in the thickest part of the meat because that will take the longest to actually cook. Let that go. this, once this has come up to a boil, as you can see, it's starting to boil. So you're gonna put salt and pepper in, however much you want to taste. It doesn't even have to be, this is cayenne, doesn't have to be cayenne, it can be whatever you want. So we're just gonna sprinkle a little bit of that, just a little. Nice, good stir. And then we're just gonna turn this down just a little, and then we're gonna let that boil and thicken up, because as it continues, it will thicken up, and also that flour taste will be cooked out, which is what we really want, is that flour taste to be gone. And then we're gonna check our chicken. Now when it comes to the drumstick, because it's on a bone, it will take a little bit longer, and it'll also be a little bit harder to temp. Now when you temp it, you have to be close to the bone but not touching it. And these are getting a little bit dark, but they're not quite done yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to put them in the oven at about 375 for about maybe 10 minutes, and then we'll check it, and hopefully it'll be all done. So once our chicken is all done and plated and our gravy's all ready, we're going to go ahead and just put this right over it. Now, whatever gravy you don't use, you can keep, and the next day if you have like ground sausage or anything left over, you can throw it in there, have some biscuits and some sausage gravy, really awesome. What I would make at home on the side of this is, I really like honey glazed carrots. So you just chop them up, salt, pepper, olive oil with a little bit of honey, put them in the oven for a bit, and it goes perfectly with this. So, and that is buttermilk fried chicken with country gravy. Have a great day.